It wasn't the prettiest, it wasn't the best, but the Chicago Bulls do pull out a narrow victory over the Washington Wizards, breaking their one-game losing streak that they had after a game that they should have won themselves after getting completely blown out by the Miami Heat. We're going to talk about this win and more right after this. What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content today, y'all. And yeah, man, I want to start off doing something I usually don't do. I usually jump right into the Chicago Bulls. I want to give out some respect to this Washington Wizards team. This team that was 1-14 coming into this game, now 1-15 on the season. They were very close to getting their second win on the year. When you look at the way that they performed in this game, Cam Whitmore played 18 minutes. He scored 20 points. He was 7 of 10 from the field. You had Corey Kispert with 20 points as well. Alexander Sarr, after being one of the players that so many people talked a lot of crap about last season, he's really improved this season. He had 16 points. CJ McCollum, the old Wiley vet, had 18 points as well in this game. I just want to give some credit and some, because I see this Washington Wizards team, this is a young team that when they get on and everybody gets healthy, no Trey Johnson, for example, in this game, this could be a really good team. And I'm talking about as soon as maybe 2 years from now, this is probably going to be a really good team that's there in Washington. So I want to give some credit to the Washington Wizards in the way that they played this game. They made it go down the stretch for the Chicago Bulls, down to the wire, to the very last seconds for with this Bulls team. So shout out to the Washington Wizards and the way that they were able to perform in this game. But other than that, I know the Bulls won this game. And there are some people that when the Bulls win, they don't want to hear nothing bad. But this was an ugly, disgusting win by the Chicago Bulls. Now, I'm glad that they were able to pull it out. I'm really glad that they were able to. And for what it was worth, this was a game of runs. Basically, after the first quarter, it was just a game of runs. We came out of the first quarter down by 1 point. The Bulls opened up the second quarter on a 5-2 run. The Washington Wizards then go on a 22-4 run. The Bulls respond with a 7-0 run. Then the Wizards go on a 5-0 run. Then the Bulls finish the first half on an 8-0 run to go down by 6 going into halftime. And then it was just a battle back and forth. You're talking about you got an 8-0 run from the Wizards, a 6-0 run by the Chicago Bulls, a 5-0 run by the Bulls, a 10-4 run by the Wizards, 11-2 run by the Bulls. And that's just the way that the game went at that point in time. After the second half, it was just a game of runs. There are several times in this game where neither team could really score for a little bit of stretch of time there that kind of left this game closer than what it would have been in some other circumstances. But hey, the Bulls were able to end up pulling this one out. Got to give much credit due to that one. Nikola Vucevic leads the Bulls in scoring today with 28 points. He has 28 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists in this game from Nikola Vucevic. Josh Giddey with another triple-double, his fourth on the season, if I'm not mistaken. 18 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists, only 2 turnovers, 3 steals, and a block. Josh Giddey had himself a great game today. Even though it seemed like at times he was a little more timid shooting the ball wise, he ended up 2 of 3 from three-point line, which is really good. 6 of 7 from the free throw line as well. Him and Coby White each got to the free throw line 7 times. That's really what you want to see. If you can get a combined 14 free throws from those guys, that's usually pretty good. To talk about Coby White, he had 20 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, 4 turnovers in this game from Coby White. He didn't find his rhythm three-point shooting-wise. He was 3 of 11 from the field today. So 11 out of his 16 shots came from the three-point line. That's never been a good distribution for Coby White. You always want Coby White driving, and there were times in this game where Coby White just didn't drive. He still were able to put up 20 points, hit some big shots when we needed him to as well. The 6 assists is really important in that one as well. Getting to the free throw line 7 times, really important also. But, hey, It is what it is there. I just would be remiss not to talk about it in completion. Modest Buzelis with 13 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 3 blocks from Modest Buzelis. If I'm not mistaken, which I'm about to fact check myself on, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe that Modest Buzelis is now averaging over 2 blocks per game, basically over the last 6 games or so. I just want to see that. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull up those numbers. I want to see exactly what Modest has done. And, it's been up and down, a few games for Modest Buzelis. I don't want to act like it hasn't been up and down for him. It really has. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Let's look at this. So I want to look at this 6-game stretch. Over this 6-game stretch, Modest Buzelis is averaging basically 14 points, almost 7 rebounds, 43% shooting from the field, 30% shooting from 3, and he's averaging 2.2 blocks per game over the last 6 games. Modest Buzelis he's blocking those shots. He's providing a little bit of rim protection, which we know the Bulls don't have a lot of, which is really good to get that from Modest Buzelis. So I love to see him performing in those ways. That's really good. That didn't go crazy on the stat sheet tonight. He was 4 of 11 from the field, 1 of 6 from three-point line. We got to get more efficient, Modest Buzelis. I think that's coming back. I think he's going through a little hump here. Hopefully he comes out on the other side of that pretty well. The Bulls in this game still have almost 40 points from the bench as well. The total bench points ended up being 34 bench points from the Chicago Bulls. We did get outworked on the bench. The Wizards had 42 bench points in this game. The Bulls won points in the paint, 60-54. They lost the second chance point battle, 16-12. Fast break points, they lost that 16-12 as well. We lost the bench point battle. We won points off turnovers, 23-15 there. The Washington Wizards committed 23 personal fouls in this game as well, compared to the Bulls, only 15 personal fouls in this game. Our bench unit, Jalen Smith with 9 points in 19 minutes. He continues to play really good, 9 and 9, 9 points, 9 rebounds, really good for him, and a block. You got 4 points from Julian Phillips in 10 minutes. We saw Noah Essengay play 4 minutes in this game, went 0 of 1 from the field. Other than that, it was a Tony Snell stat line, but we got to see a little bit of Noah Essengay. Is this a sign? Now, there are a lot of players out. No P. Will, no Dalen Terry, and others in this game, so take that for what you will. Kevin Huerter gave us 9 points as well. You got 10 points from Trey Jones, also off the bench today. And overall, we got to see that starting lineup that a lot of people wanted to see, with Ayo in there, with Giddey, Coby, Vooch, Modest Buzelis. And it was decent, right? Everybody scored in double figures except Ayo, surprisingly enough. I'm really surprised Ayo didn't score in double figures today. He was 2 of 9 from the field, the only starter not to score in double figures. But, that is what it is. We'll take that for what it's worth. But, the Bulls shoot the ball 42% from the field today, 27% from 3, 83% from the three-point line. And they were able to narrowly get a victory here, 121-120 over the Washington Wizards, man. That was a game. Once again, the cardiac Chicago teams, they know how to make us work. They know how to make us sweat. This was another frustrating game down the stretch. I was extremely frustrated in this game with the way that the Bulls played. But like I've said before, you don't win every game you're supposed to win. You don't lose every game that you're supposed to lose. They took advantage of the Washington Wizards and their inexperience down the stretch of this game to allow them to win this game, and that's really what it came down to. The Bulls won the turnover battle 15-10, so that worked in the Bulls' favor, and overall, they were able to get a good victory today. But I can't say that Billy Donovan coached a great game. Can't say we played a great game either, but we got the win. And that's the thing that matters the most is, did you get the win? Guess what? We got the win. So take that for what you will. Take that for what you will. But all right, let's go ahead and get into some of your guys' comments and see how you guys are feeling about this win by the Chicago Bulls. We got Azamate says, that was a very ugly win. We need to be better, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially you're in this stretch where a lot of the teams you're facing are below 500. Every game that you play against a below 500 team can't come down to the wire. You got to be better than that. You got to be able to execute better than that. And that's what this Bulls team has not been able to do as of yet on this season. Let's hope that comes around a little bit for them. They gotta be able to perform better. Now, for what it's worth, not a slow start. We got outscored by only 1 in the first quarter, outscored by 5 in the second quarter. But they did get out to like an 8-point lead to start off the game. But the Bulls started stronger than what they have been. They finished stronger than what they have been as well. That's something that helped them get there. Jamil says, Bulls forgetting about the fundamentals. Chucking up threes early into the shot clock isn't for them at all, bro. Like, we got to stop. We are not that team that can take those, that can chuck up those threes early in the shot clock. That is not who we are as a team, and they have to be better than that. Rob said the fact that they went through this tough stretch and ended up 2 games over 500 still is a good sign. They got some rest coming up with 2 games, and they should be in a good spot. I mean, listen, the thing is that all that sounds great. It sounds flawless, and it does sound like what should happen. But unfortunately, us as a team, we just don't know how to take advantage of what should be easier stretches. Now, for what it's worth, the Bulls have won 3 out of the last 4 games. So take that for what you will. 3 out of the last 5, if you just want to go to more used number in the last 5. So, some things are starting to look better for the Chicago Bulls. You have 2 games next week. We play Monday against New Orleans and then Friday against the Hornets. Those should be 2 very winnable games. Not easy games, but winnable games. And then you come back after the holiday. You take on, Indiana, Orlando, Brooklyn, Indiana again. And then it gets rough again for the Bulls. After that, right, we face Indiana on my birthday, December 5th. After that, you got Golden State, 2 games against Cleveland, 2 games against Atlanta. It gets a little tough for you again, right? So that's why you have to stack these wins against opponents that you're favored against. You have to stack those wins against those teams. And it's all about what I always say, winning the week. The Bulls have won the week, and that's really good to see. They come out of this week 3-4. They've won the week. I'm not mad at that. So now let's see what we can do going forward. And that's just really what it comes down to. Julian Phillips did amazing. He knows his role and stays consistent and hustles. Would love to see Essengay not just stand in the corner but cut to the basket for second chance points. I agree with you. Like Noah, you can tell that the moment kind of got to him as far as playing his first NBA game, and I can't blame him for that. Like, listen, I'd be starstruck getting on the NBA court, so I understand that, right? But Noah, with his size, with his athleticism, the length that he has, if he was able to just, cut to the basket a little bit more, it could have opened up some lanes, not only for him, but for some teammates. But I'm not going to judge him in 4 minutes. Like, it's kind of hard to do that in 4 minutes, but we'll see. We'll see. Uncle Boogie says, I love to see Coby work on his court awareness and general game management. I feel like it's an aspect of his game that could elevate him to the next level. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong, right? And you're not wrong. And I do think getting the 6 assists is a solid number for him. But Coby kind of has those blinders on sometimes where I feel like he's like, I'm going to drive and I'm going to kick it out, which is not bad to be intentional. But it's the way that he does it sometimes with that awkward kind of twist out pass that always kind of causes the Bulls some problems, but it is what it is. We'll talk about that as it happens. Cannon Peacock, I haven't seen you around, brother. Shout out to you. Says Vooch is probably going off on Smith in the locker room right now. You think so? Trade Vucevic for Zubac from Arzabonis. Bro, y'all got to stop smoking dick. Like, real talk. Smash the like button on the way in. We appreciate you. How many minutes did Trey get? Trey got, switch my screen back, 26 minutes for Trey Jones today. 26 minutes for Trey. It was bad. It was downright ugly at times, but in the words of Dominic Toretto, winning's winning. Hey, shout out to you. You're not wrong. You're not wrong with that at all, Troy. So they got the dub. That's the most important thing. You got the dub. Do you think the threes early in the shot clock is a symptom of fatigue because of chucking up a 3 is easier? I mean, that's a great point, Ark. It could be. That could be a thing. But I'll say this, like, fatigue be damned. You got to go out there and win. Your job is to be in shape. You got to go out there and do some shit. You can't fall in love with the bad 3-point shots. I hate that. Falling in love with bad 3-point shots is such a detriment to your team. It just doesn't make any sense. SP, Vooch got pissed at Modest and Smith for dancing behind him during interviews. Did he? That's funny. That's hilarious. Haize, get ready for another heart attack tomorrow because I know it's going to come down to the wire, win, lose with the Chicago Bears. Oh, I mean, it always comes down to that with the Chicago Bears for sure. Shots are going to start dropping, but defense like this is unsustainable. Hopefully getting Zach back will give us some paint defense, but our guards and wings are getting blown by consistently. Well, you know what we've gone away from? We've gone away from that kind of hybrid zone that we were using at the beginning of the season, where we were using that where it was a zone, it was man principles, but it was a zone defense, meaning that after players penetrated to a certain point, we went to a zone and kept the help defense close by. And so the Bulls stopped doing that. And I don't know why they stopped doing that. We play a lot more traditional of a defense now, where I think that hybrid zone is like the best of both worlds for the Chicago Bulls. It eliminates players like Vooch playing in drop coverage. It helps overcome one of our biggest limitations, which is simple pick and roll defense. And so I don't know why we went away from that. I would love to hear, and this is why I wish I was in the post-game person sometimes, I would love to hear somebody ask Billy Donovan why we went away from that defensive scheme and see his answer. There got to be a reason why they moved away from it. There got to be a reason. Reginald says, you can't say that we're playing down after. No, you still can, because getting beat by 36 doesn't stop you from playing down to the competition. Like, that's not how that works, right? Every team is going to have a big loss this season. Now, it may not always be 36 points, but you can't. That doesn't eliminate you playing down in competition. Great time to trade Coby and Vooch. It's time to go younger and get picks, first of all. They're not I don't know why y'all don't get this, that this not happening. I don't know why y'all don't get that. 3 and 4. How did they win the week, or did you mean 4 and 3, Haize? Did I say 3 and 4? I said 3 out of 4. They won 3 out of 4. That's what I meant to say if I didn't. They won 3 out of 4 games this week. Or 3 out of 5 if you count Sunday as part of this week on the game schedule, however you decide to look at that. But either way, they still won more games than they lost this week. They won the week. What could we get back if we traded Vooch and Coby in a package? Nothing, because we're not doing it. Stop asking these dumbass questions. The Bulls are not trading Coby White. And nobody's taking Vooch right now. You include Vooch in the trade, you might as well go ahead and give up 2 first-round picks. Without Paul and Okoro, the defense felt so different. Not sure if it's because of their absence or just happened to play out that way. Probably a bit of both, right? Like, you have to, when you have individual defenders like Okoro and P. Will and Ayo, right? I know we still had Ayo in this game, but his role was a little bit different now being as a starter. But when you have those guys, it does change, because those guys can cover some ground too, especially P. Will. Now that P. Will is kind of learning how to use his size a little bit more consistently. And so when you're missing guys like that, it's definitely going to change the way that you play defense for sure, especially when you, like I said, they were using a hybrid zone at times. Vooch saying the team playing like this isn't sustainable. However, let's be honest. He has a huge role to play in this. Stop with the lazy defense. Stop giving up on plays, Vooch. Set the example, Vooch. Well, again, Vooch has never been a great defender. It is what it is there, but I'm not going to expect Vooch to all of a sudden change who he's been for like 15 years. I feel like we played down to our opponents. Yeah, we do definitely play down to our opponents. There's no question about that. Got to watch post-game interview with Vooch to see what I'm talking about. Smith pissed him off. I mean, that's cool. I don't give a shit about that. And I'm not saying that like a knock on you. Like, as it stands right now, I don't care. I'll watch it after the game. It may be funny. I may post it as a short, but I don't give a shit about that. Like, I give more of a damn about the fact that this team should have been playing like they were pissed off. They need to be pissed off at their performance in this game rather than be pissed off at each other. They need to be pissed off that it literally came down to the final 5 seconds in a game against the Washington Wizards, that you almost gave a team that was 1-14 their second win. That's what they need to be pissed about. Everybody needs to be upset by that. Not somebody playing a practical joke on you in the post-game presser. I don't give a fuck about that. Be upset that you came in here and that this young, scrappy team literally looked at you and said, we ain't afraid of them. That should piss you off, right? That should push you off, that a team with 1 win literally looked at and never at all got frantic until the end of that game. That literally the Washington Wizards played. That's why I started off this episode wanting to give a lot of love to the Washington Wizards and how their young players played, because they came into this game and basically said, hey, cool. Cool. We're not afraid of the Bulls. The Bulls? Like, that's what you should be offended about. That's what you should be mad about, is that a young team that hasn't won games is literally looking at you like, we ain't afraid of them. We can beat them. That's what you should be pissed off about. First of all, that username is wild, my boy. I'm not saying that. I'll call you B-Dub. B-Dub said, just like Stacey King, it's an easy game when you get inside to Vooch. That's where he needs to start. Then the threes start falling. Absolutely. And, I think Vooch's his first two, it might have been his first 3 shots were 3-pointers in this game, but you saw Vooch start finding his rhythm when he started getting into the paint. That's what you got to do. Inside, out. You got to get into the paint. You got Vooch should only take a 3 for every 3 shots taken in the paint, he can take a 3-point shot. That's the way that should work. I think Miller would be a good big player to have on the court. Miller? Emmanuel Miller? I'm good. I'd rather have Lachlan Albert. Bro, Maxey is almost twice the score Coby is. Who asked that? Oh, that was Jeremy question. Jeremy be asking some very special questions. So, first of all, you didn't even spell my name right, so I'm not reading your comment. Come back again. No, I'm just fucking with you. Do you think Coby coming back with something to do with the Bulls stop playing the hybrid zone defense? No, I can't say that it shouldn't, because you did the hybrid zone with Kevin Huerter, you did the hybrid zone with Trey Jones, you did the hybrid zone with Josh Giddey, you did the hybrid zone with players that are Coby can play in a hybrid zone. So I don't personally think Coby's return has anything to do with that personally, but we'll see. Bro, either way, Coby is playing better than anyone expected for only 3 games. Like, Bulls fans just need to chill. Oh, listen, the Bulls fans they were so ready to shit on Coby White. Like, they came into the season, once Coby White, oh my God, Coby's going to mess up the chemistry. Oh my God, Coby. Now, I will say this, Coby went into isolation more this game than what he had his first 2 games. He just did. That's not to hate on Coby. That's just to be real. There were too many times where Coby went into isolation. We got to get him back to playing within the rhythm. But it was 1 game. I'm not going to blow up over 1 game. He's had 2 games of playing very well within the system, attacking the rim. Maybe it was just this game. Maybe it was part of the game plan. I don't know. But he settled for too many threes, I think, in this game. And I want to see Coby White go back to attacking. But luckily, he still got to the free throw line 7 times. He still had 6 assists. But, I think a Coby White that attacks and tries to get to the rim is always going to be much more dangerous for this Bulls team for sure. Damn, I wish the Bulls would start listening to Stacey King. I bet Stacey King on the inside is like, why the fuck do they not know simple-ass shit? Of course, he can't say that on national TV, but still. I mean, listen, I don't know. Ayo's played as much small forward as shooting guard over the last 2 years, Jeremy. Like, he's been playing a lot of small forward the last 2 years. Oh, haha, got it now, Haize. Yeah, Vooch looked irritated. He expressed we can't be closing out the game like. I mean, and you should be frustrated. You should literally be pissed off that you won by 1 point and it had to come down to the stretch against the Washington fucking Wizards. And like I said, no slight to the Wizards. Credit to the Wizards. I started off the show with giving credit to the scrappy Wizards. But the Bulls got to really look at themselves and ask them, what are you doing here, bro? What are you doing? That's exactly what Vooch said. And the Wizards, one of the worst teams in the NBA, and almost dropped this game. Yeah, that's just bad. It's just bad. It's bad. Yeah, shout out Washington. They had no fear whatsoever and are probably pissed they lost. Oh, listen, they should be pissed that they lost because the Washington Wizards came in this game, and for a large part of it, they can, like, I want to see, what was their time leading in this game? Give me 1 second. The Washington Wizards held the lead for 41 minutes and 40 seconds in this game. They led basically the entire game. And yet, the Chicago Bulls won it, so they should be pissed because this very well could have been their second win on the season. Big Diesel says, Haize, I have to tell you, I hate what the Golden State Warriors did to the NBA. Why in the hell is Coby shooting threes with 5 seconds left? Go to Vooch, he was cooking, but modern NBA is all about. Oh yeah, I mean modern NBA is all about the 3, and it is what it is. I know some people blame Steph and the Warriors. At the end of the day, like, fundamentals aren't fundamentals anymore. Teams are playing for the 3, and that's just where the league is. It'll eventually change back. It'll eventually change back. Vooch calling out the team at the end of the game is the pot calling kettle black. He needs to look in the mirror and figure out what he can, how he can step up and improve. But he did. I mean, I hate to tell you this. I know that it's easy to hate on Vooch. Vooch did step up as the game went on. Vooch stepped up and hit big shots for the Chicago Bulls as the game went on. So if anybody has the right to be pissed, it is Nikola Vucevic. Vooch is the reason why we won this game. Now, that's not to say that he did not do some things in this game that also hurt our chances to win the game, because he absolutely did. But Vooch is the one that stepped up in the fourth quarter in this game. Vooch is the one that improved his play in this game. He led us in the fourth quarter with 8 points total in the fourth quarter. If it wasn't for Vooch hitting the shots that he was 3 or 4 from the field, 2 of 3 from three-point range, we don't win this game if it's not for Nikola Vucevic. So this is a game where, and they'll tell you, I criticize Nikola Vucevic all the time. This is a game where he still deserves criticism. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve criticism for his play, but if anybody's going to call out how this game went down the stretch, Vooch absolutely has a right to do that this game. Feels like there's a possibility that we can come out of this upcoming week at a worse team, picking up bad habits or whatever. I mean, I guess I can see where you're coming from with that. I can see, especially if they continue to play down to the level of competition. I can see where you're coming from there for sure. Shooting 27% from three made this game a lot closer than it needed to be. The Bulls need to get more arrogant against lesser teams. They get way too complicated. Listen, they don't need to get arrogant. Just go out there and perform. They haven't earned the spot to be arrogant yet. They haven't earned it. They haven't won at a high enough level, consistently enough, or played consistently enough to be arrogant against anybody. But they do need to trust their execution. They do need to go through those type of things and focus on what they need to do. That's what they have to do in these games. And I'm not worried about arrogance. I'm worried about execution. Go out there and perform the way that we know that you can perform. Do that consistently. I feel like Vooch being mad as a vet, he should show the youngins how to feel after a game like this. Get a little rest, got to play better versus the Pelicans. Yeah, I mean, is Zion back yet? I don't even know. I haven't really been paying attention to the Pelicans other than looking at Derek Queen highlights. But that's the shit. I just said, like, you got to worry about – Derek Queen just took it to Nikola Jokic, the former MVP. They got to look out for him. We not – like, Derek Queen ain't trapped in the room with us. We trapped in the room with Derek Queen because I tell you what, Derek Queen is about to cook Nikola Vucevic and Jalen Smith. I'm telling you that right now. I mean, these motherfuckers is about to look like babies compared to the rookie. Because the way that Derek Queen just does not stop with that motor, man, it's about to be fugly if they don't get their shit together. So they better have a game plan because they're winning the minutes with Derek Queen on the court right now. A dose of Vegemite will make you feel better. Haize, I know we got a triple-double. We got to do Vegemite. I don't have any bread. It's upstairs, and I don't feel like pausing the stream and walking upstairs. So, the fuck is that? All right, Vegemite. Doing raw Vegemite again. Shout out to Josh Giddey for getting another triple-double and a win. Man. Woo! I wasn't prepared for that one. It's been like a month since I had Vegemite. Man. All right. There we go on that one. Do you believe we have what it takes to make the playoffs? I did at the beginning of the season. I will say this. They got to show a lot more before I can really see them. I feel like they can make the playoffs. I do feel like they have a chance to make it. But if you want me to have like this solid feeling where it's like, no, we're going to make the playoffs regardless, we got a lot more. We got to prove that we can close and start off better more consistently before I can say that. We got to. The Bulls had me shaking like cheeks, like booty cheeks. That's crazy, my boy. That's wild, my boy. You weren't going to do a post game if we lost. Fuck no, bro. I was going to go. At least y'all know how tired I am. I'm exhausted, bro. I'm not even going to hold you. I'm literally exhausted. So, yeah. Man, I was wrong about a lot of people were wrong about Derek Queen. And I think the thing with Derek Queen, too, is that he stepped up as a defender this season, which is crazy to see. It's crazy to see him step up like he has as a defender. Come on, you're doing less than a tea. Listen, first of all, I did a teaspoon of Vegemite the last time. Fuck that, bro. Fuck that. Alex Sarr would be nice on the Bulls. Listen, why do y'all spend time daydreaming about players that aren't available? And why do y'all do that? I'm just worried about that. Why do y'all do that? Man, I hope Queen doesn't dominate Vooch. Unfortunately, seems like it may happen. I mean, listen, Derek Queen is a beast right now, bro. Could you imagine if we drafted Derek Queen instead of Noah Essengay? Like, don't get me wrong. I still really think highly of Noah Essengay and the potential that he has here. But could you imagine if where it stands right now? Like, would they have still sent him to the G League? I don't know, right? Especially with Zach Collins being hurt. But imagine if we had Derek Queen right now on this team. That's crazy. I still have my questions on because he is being very ball dominant with the Pelicans. He wouldn't be able to be that here with the Chicago Bulls. So I have some questions about that, but that'd be crazy. Bears linebacker situation is a problem. We need Johnson and Gordon back ASAP. Why are we bringing that up here? Why are we bringing that up here? This is a Bull stream. Bulls just won. But all right, y'all, we're going to get ready to wrap it up, man. I appreciate you guys for sticking through with me through the game. Me and C-Dub. Shout out to C-Dub. The best live caller in the business is C-Dub. I'm blessed to be able to do a live call show with C-Dub each and every game. Make sure you guys are following us at Bull Central Pod. You send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. Remember, tomorrow's the mailbag, so get those voicemails in. Again, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, but that is thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See red if you can, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.